Guthrie Trapp posted a really cool little video on his Instagram last week, and this is a really good practice for triads and chord tones, you know, in the context of a simple chord progression. So let's play it through, and I'm going to break it down really slowly.
So the major would be right. Great little practices, and directly related to lead guitar playing. So the
All right, really cool, and it's you know, it's not as difficult as it seems. So the structure, let's talk about just the bits and pieces we're going to use, and then we'll play a bit and we'll break it down. So we've got an A major chord, so it's your E form bar chord off the 5th fret, and then we've got an E7, and it just bounces between the two. The progression is A to E7, A to E7, but we're going to do it with triads on different string sets. Let's play the first part and then we'll get through that.
major would be right.
So it starts off with A, and we're using our root inversion triad. If you don't know your triads, you know, I suggest that you sort of do a little bit of research. A lot of this might not make sense. So we've got our root inversion. So we've got root, major third, 5th. And he plays it from the 5th up to the root. That's all he does to cover the A. So we've got 5th, 3rd, root. Then we need the E7. So we're going to get the 7th fret of the G, that's the flat 7 of E7. Then we've got the 5th, which is the 4th fret of the G. And then the major third is on the 6th fret of the D. That's what we do for E7. Then we want to go back to A. So now we're going to think of this triad. So if you think of your E form bar chord and just take off your first finger, you've got major third with your middle finger, and then you've got root, and then 5th. But he plays it with his first finger on the 3rd, and then ring finger grabs the root, and middle finger gets the 5th, and he plays up that triad for A. And then we want E7 again, but instead of starting it on the flat 7, we're going to start on the 5th. So we're going to go 5th, 3rd, and then we're going to finish that with the root on the 7th fret of the A. So that's 5th, major 3rd. So remember, this E7, it doesn't have a 5th in the chord, but obviously we can play it when we're using the triads and the chord tones. A, E7, A, E7, and then we want to go back to A. So now we're going to retain these two notes from the previous triad, and our first finger is going to bar them. So now we're going to have D string is the root, A string is the 5, and then with our ring finger we play the 9th fret of the E, and that's our major third. So you're back to first inversion. Then we want E7 again, and now what we're going to do with the E7, we're going to play the E7, then wrap it up, and it finishes on the A. So we've got, now we're going to start, last time we started it on the 5th, now we're going to start it on the major third, first finger on the 6th fret of the D, that's the major third of E7, then we grab the root, then the flat 7 on the 5th fret of the A, so we've got 3rd, root, flat 7, Then we can play the 5th with our pinky on the 7th fret of the low E. Then we reach over and grab the major 3rd, 4th fret low E. Then back to the 5th, which takes us perfectly to low E, 5th fret, which is the root of the A chord. So that last part really slow. Then he plays, I'll play that all the way through slowly. Then he plays right down the A major arpeggio through the full chord and then comes back up through the E7, which is a really nice exercise as well. So I'm not going to go through all these notes of the A major arpeggio, I'll go through it really slow and the tabs are here. So that's down the A major arpeggio. Then when we get to the high E, the 5th fret, the root of the A, that's when we're going to transition to the 7th fret of the high E, which is, that's the 5 now of the E7. So we're now in E7. Then 1st finger, 4th fret, high E, that's the major 3rd. 5th fret B string is the root. Then we're back to that flat 7 on the G, 7th fret. Then the 5th, 4th fret G, major 3rd, 6th fret D string, and then we're going to wrap it up the same way as we did before. So nothing too complicated, it's just great use of triads in the context of a correct progression. It's a fantastic little lesson by Guthrie. So there's a lot of good exercises there. Just playing up and down them arpeggios is going to be great for your fingers. It's great to practice this stuff in a musical context. Great
little practice.
And then Guthrie speeds it up a bit, but then what he does exactly the same as what we just covered, but he plays each triad twice. He just repeats. And then wraps it up the same way. Then he talks about minor. I haven't included that, but if you want to work this out for minor, then look at your A major triads and we just drop that minor 3rd back. And he does minor triads the same in the same positions, but we just drop that major 3rd back to a minor 3rd. And then the E7 stays the same, so it's going from A minor to E7. Still sounds cool. Right, so have some fun with that, practice it really slowly, and please let me know in the comments any feedback. Is, it really helps with, kind of what videos to do next. So if it's clear enough and slow enough, let me know and I'll continue with this kind of content, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.